Hi, I'm Trevor Williams.
And I'm Dan Gordon.
And this is our mobile phone enabled vending machine app that we created for ECN 461.
Okay, we're going to talk about generally how it works from phone to candy, and we have a few diagrams to illustrate that. First of all, starting from the phone, this screenshot indicates something that a user might see as they were ready to select the candy or a treat. After clicked on the candy, it would send a request to the web API. The web API is then writing to the Azure Event Hub.
Afterwards, a signal is received by the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi sits and has a polling loop that waits until it receives that signal. After the signal is received, it parses it to find out which candy has been selected, and it looks up and sends the correct signal out on a GPIO pin. And that GPIO pin drives a solenoid, which then releases the trap door and drops the candy.
Okay. Walking through the machine development process, we experimented with a few different methods. Eventually we settled on a laser printer as our primary manufacturing method. This is an example of one of the cutouts used for the laser printer. On the top left, you're looking at a top view of the candy slots, and then just below that you're seeing a dividing wall for the front, and then on the right you're seeing dividing walls for the sides. This is a completed assembly of the trap doors with the solenoids on them. And now we're looking at a drawing of the front of the inside box. Used box joints to connect them on the laser cutter. This was very comfortable because all you had to do was draw them, and it came out with really high accuracy, a lot better than I do with a table saw. And then in the front, I used those that you see all the way around the top that look like castle turrets, as a place that I could slide in modules. So this allowed flexibility in that the same box design could be used for different sizes of candies, or even not necessarily candy, any item you wanted to dispense from this. And this is a shot of the final product with some crude decorating on it. And then note we did add a QR code, so that QR code enabled somebody with a mobile phone that had a QR reader to get to that screen we showed on the opening. Select an item, have it drop.
What we have so far is basically the base of the idea that we want to build. So there's a couple more phases we go through. We split things into a priority phase and a later phase. So here at the phase 1 items, we have the things we'd like to work on. First of all, the trap door. We'd like to design the manufacturability, change that in such a way that, as Dan said, we can fit different types of trapdoors. It's versatile enough that you can keep changing it and have different types, different size candies, or rather different size compartments for larger and smaller candies. And we'd like to improve upon that. Add a payment gateway, so a method to actually pay for the candy through, whether that's an API or whatever it may be. We'd also eventually, more phase 2, but we'd like to add in a way to earn credits for candy. So that could be through advertisement, games, doing other apps to earn points, and then add a lock the lid finally.
And then beyond that, look into things like automating the reset of the trap doors, native apps that could be GPS enabled, possibly a tray system where you would pre-fill trays in a warehouse, possibly even have them coded according to contents for rapid refill, and then also a GSM based controller so that you would not need to use Wi-Fi and have a little more flexibility in your placement.
All of our code that we used, most of the code is done in Perl, and we've posted the code at a GitHub account. And so you can find that code there if you're interested in seeing what we did to communicate between whether it's the server or the host, I should say, or whether it's the code used in the Raspberry Pi. So it can be found here. Thank you for watching our video and hope that you've enjoyed this.